Welcome to the TAS Morning Show. Today we have with us one of Oman's leading telecom company CEO. We're talking about Vodafone, and today with us we have Mr. Badr Al Zidi, the CEO of Vodafone. Mr. Badr, welcome to the TAS studios.
Thank you very much. Thanks for the opportunity.
My pleasure. Now, firstly, congratulations are in order. Vodafone has celebrated its first anniversary with a solid 7% market share. Now, can you tell us how the journey has been in Oman?
It has been certainly a remarkable journey, and thanks for being part of it as well.
Absolutely.
After the announcement of a third entrance, the government has multiple objectives as well, and bringing a giant brand like Vodafone into Oman was definitely a positive thing for the country. Vodafone is one of the largest operator in Europe. They own the largest 5G network in Europe as well. So the objective was to push innovation in the telecom sector and also be able to push the boundary and achieve the Vision 2040, especially the one pertaining to digitalizations. So the entry of Vodafone came with a unique propositions. It's been an entirely digital operator, which is quite unique things, and that's one of the objectives as well. And we came with also unique propositions to the market. If I were to give two examples, one of them is to take your home tariff abroad. In Oman, the subscriber used to have, I would say, unpleasant experience when it goes to roaming outside the country. We've managed, I think, to resolve that challenge, and now the subscriber can take his or her local tariff approach to all or most of European country and Turkey, Egypt, India, and we've added the GCC country. So that was perceived very positively, and I think we've slightly changed the landscape from that perspective.
Definitely.
Also the digital journey, with the young youth, where Oman has probably the highest percentage. They're getting used to the app, to the digital experience. They don't like going to the outlets and so on. With our app, they are able to get onboarded through the app itself without having to visit any of our outlets. And that has also been a game changer, I would say, into the market.
For sure.
And with that, we are able at least to capture the percentage, though we managed to achieve higher, but our ambition is even higher than this.
Good luck for the entire digital scenario. Now, you just said that you were the first digital provider, and I read that you've hit the 2 million mark when it comes to downloads. What do you think is the future of digital in Oman?
See, that's a very good indication for us that we've managed to come and present ourselves as a digital operators. This is one of the things that we are tracking, is the app download, because everything is centered within the app itself. We wanted to come with a digital only experience. But considering so many factors, we had to use some of our partners also to provide the services. So we were tracking the download as well. And reaching 2 million is a very positive. In fact,
absolutely.
We had an expectation of around 1 million, but we've managed to cross that almost by double. But obviously, the conversions doesn't go into that level. You get normally 20 to 25% of that conversions. And we are not very obsessed of the number of subscribers. The performance can be measured through different multiple factors, the customer retention, realities, the value, and so on. But that was a very good indication for us. And our app is bringing or stands on 5 important pillars. And one of them is real-time, data-only, personalizations. And we are setting ourselves to land and leverage on big data. So having that much of people downloading the app, it gives us quite rich of informations. And it also reflects to what extent the country is mature from digitalization perspective. So I think it's been an exciting journey from that perspective, and these are very positive indicator for us going forward.
For sure. I feel like one of the big reasons that there were 2 million downloads is because Oman has a strong and really big younger population, which brings me to my next question. Vodafone has, they've created indirectly and directly many jobs for younger people.
True.
What is the future for the, what are future job opportunities looking like in the Oman market?
Uh, as when Vodafone Oman was also decided to brought into the country, it had a lot of country value objective. One of them, obviously, employment. But Vodafone Oman is set in a way to be lean and agile. So as Vodafone itself, we are not built like a traditional operator where we can build a larger workforce, or probably 10% of the existing operators. But we've created an ecosystem that naturally bring business indirectly to the service provider that we use. And we are not investing from a workforce in building any new infrastructures. The country, I think, has paved the way for Vodafone or the third entrance to come into Oman by, I would say, liberalizing some of the infrastructures built up for the telecom sector. So the tower, we are not building our own tower. We are renting the tower from Oman Tower Company. We are also renting the fiber from Oman Broadband. We are also leveraging on the existing data centers.
Yeah.
Probably we are one of the few in the world that don't have their own data centers. And that was where we are able to achieve that from a data center perspective because we are fully cloud. We are fully cloud across all of our ecosystem. So the footprints we need in a traditional data center is very small.
Yeah.
And that has a quite positive value from workforce and employment creations within these companies. Similarly, in an area where we were not able to leverage on a very mature provider, we've made it a conditions with any international suppliers that they tie in with a local SME or a local company. And that has also paved the way in creating an employment across the whole chain of ecosystem that we work in.
No.
I would say within now we've been operational just 1 year and few months. Our record shows that we were able to create above 600 jobs directly and indirectly. And hopefully with the advancements and digitalization, the new digital and ICT service, I think we can create a dominoes effects through all the setup.
Yeah, that's lovely. I also heard that, Vodafone is, I think, if I'm not mistaken, 95% Omanized, which is brilliant, owing to the fact that the achievements that you've got over the 1 year that you've been here, it's all the Omani young minds that's doing all of this for
Absolutely.
you guys.
And I think that was also one of the objectives is to build talent within Oman and to leverage on this partnership and strategic partnerships with a giant like Vodafone. And we've been actually having an access to a lot of market as well. Vodafone, as I mentioned, they are available in multiple markets, over 27 to 28 markets. And so we've been doing some sort of like a cross-posting where we send our people there in a different market for specific things. And also we get them to visit Oman and also learn. So making sure that we have a higher percentage of Omanizations within Vodafone Oman, so then they can leverage to all of these market experience that Vodafone has.
Definitely. Unlimited talent in Oman, the way I'm seeing it.
Thank you.
Now, let's talk about 5G. Now, Vodafone has, I think, around, if I'm not mistaken, 60% coverage when it comes to 5G. And you guys are doing a really, really good job when it comes to the 5G towers and, So, is there a future, do you think we could have 6G maybe in the near future?
Let me correct you, it's not yet 60%.
Okay.
We've closed the year with around 30%.
Okay.
As a Vodafone subscriber would enjoy coverage across all Oman. But we are very busy with 5G mainly. So we are building 5G from day one. With our first year, we've managed to reach 30% of the population, and our target for this year end is 60%.
Okay.
And hopefully within end of 2025, we reach 90%. Now, that in itself is a leapfrog, I would say, from a network experience perspective. And what determine the speed of expansion on 5G or any new technology is the penetration of the handsets capable of basically managing or accessing that kind of networks. Now in Oman, I would say the devices that support 5G probably do not exceed 25%, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
So that also comes into considerations. Yeah. 6G, I think, yes, in the same way we've been hearing about 5G some time back. And 5G was spoken about probably around 2015 or even before.
Correct, yeah.
But until it has arrived to the country, it took some time. And the maturity of also the handsets does also take some time. We will definitely be watching the advancement of 6G, for sure. And what would make us more ready, more of our sites are wired with fiber. Probably the highest percentage of tower that has a fiber wire probably in the world is Vodafone Oman. Above 75%
Oh,
of
lovely.
our tower are wired with fiber.
That's lovely.
Traditionally, normally they use microwave. So with fiber we have unlimited bandwidth that goes to the site. What determines the bandwidth is normally the technology itself.
Yeah.
So if the 5G get advanced into 6G, I would say from a backhauling and bandwidth perspective, we should be far ready from that perspective. But then again, the handset also we need to watch out. Now today, yes, you hear about 6G, but I think from a handset perspective, it's a long journey to go still.
Okay, okay. Now, lastly, I want to end this by asking you what are Vodafone's future plans, your goals for, say, this year, short term, long term?
We have quite good number of objectives set for ourselves this year. You know, the first few years of launching a new operator, you are busy with setting the main foundations. And setting the foundation right is very important for us. As I say, we are a digital operator counting on 5G, fully cloud 5G. This year, we are having an objective to expand our subscriber and grow our subscriber and start to tap into a new different customer segments. We today are serving mainly the prepaid type, hybrid type of customers. We hope to start expanding that to the postpaid subscriber very, very soon, and towards end of the year to the enterprise, or starting with SME. While we also thinking a lot of bringing some few value added services as well. With our app, we were able to add the parking through the app. It's quite a unique, and people has perceived that very positively. The high school result was also available through the app recently, and there are many more. In fact, in the recent Mobile World Congress, we've signed a strategic agreement with one of our strategic partners to provide content like gaming, video streaming, and so on.
How cool.
So there's more exciting things to come for our subscriber, and we wanted to take that gradually and in line with our foundation setup. So this year, I think the market will witness quite a new advancement from the offer and proposition that Vodafone has so far.
Lovely, lovely. Good luck. Good luck with all your endeavors.
We definitely need it. Yeah.
Now, Mr. Zidi, it was lovely having this little chat with you. And thank you so much for coming to the TAS studios.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you for watching the TAS Morning Show. Follow the Arabian Stories for the latest updates.